Hello everyone. We are back today with more Falcon BMS. This is a quote-unquote learning stream, so it holds extra true. Do not hesitate to ask questions if you have any. I will not hesitate to answer them or pause the mission to try to answer them if I can. I am not necessarily an expert on the F-16 Falcon systems, but I know a good number of them and how to help with any questions on the basic systems at least. We are here in a dynamic campaign right now. Last stream, we tried an air interdiction mission, tried to take out some enemy ground units over here. It did not go to plan as we got shot at by an SA-2, which I believe is now down. That's an SA-5 that's down. So it was either this one or this one recently went down because there's an SA-2 battery here, but with no radar. So I think we're gonna do some more destruction of enemy air defense missions, try to take out this battery for this mission, and that will clear us some room to work to try to take out some of these ground units like this tank formation. Although we may have to clear an additional SA-2 here, an additional SA-5 here. So let's get to planning this mission. We will add a package. We'll recon this as well, just so we know who it is. The 261st, so new. Destruction of enemy air defense, make sure that we pick F-16 Block 50s. Veteran, 14th Fighter Squadron from Gunsan, which is us. Okay. Where did that set the... That set the wrong target. So we're going to delete those. New. Target. I'm going to set deed. 261st. If you're right-clicking right on the target, usually you don't have to do this, but I've got a pre-planned threat steer point on that already. There we go. It's set. Takeoff time, we're going to set to 4:10, about 20 minutes from the current time. All right. Then in our list of recon targets, we're going to go up to steer point 15 because we almost never use steer point 15. It's interesting that this is only 3 missile sites and the radar. So maybe this is one that got hit by another seed mission and got a radar up from somewhere in the rear or something. Who knows? But we will select the first. The fan's on, accept, increment, SA2, accept, increment, SA2, accept increment, SA2, accept increment. And the spoon rest. And then from there, we can just pick other targets we might want to hit. All right, we've loaded our data cartridge with our steer points. Next, let's go to our loadout. We are going to unassign our wingman's loadout. We're going to pick air to ground. We're going to grab the GBU 39 small diameter bombs because we can carry so many of them. And then under the other sniper targeting pod. So we're going to want to see what we're doing. We'll leave the harm targeting system mounted. Hit OK. We'll go to data cartridge, com plan, IFF plan, save. Actually, I'm going to do that again because we weren't slotted in. All right. Save our campaign. And we will take off. And we're going to do a ramp start. We'll do a full ramp start walkthrough. Some music playing up in here. Thank God I don't have to switch the BMS capture over anymore these days. Makes my life so much easier. Reload my track IR because I forgot to load it up. And center it. Hit Alt-C, release, and then P. Hide our legs. We will close our canopy. All right. Main power to main power. Probe heat on. Fuel source normal. IFF to normal. Lights on. Switch these on. Engine start 2. Air source normal. Oxygen on. Engine anti-ice auto. We're going to watch the RPM and the gauge. Wait for it to get to 20%. There's also nothing above us, so we can arm our seat. RPM gauge is climbing. %, so we can hit the little banana, throttle to idle. And we got to watch the FTIT gauge. It shouldn't go above 750. If it does, we got to cut off our throttle. Avionics power's on. Temperatures are dropping. We're all good. We got to turn on MMC, stores, MFD, upper front console. Map switch doesn't work. GPS, data link. INS to align. Then we're going to turn on our left hardpoint, our right hardpoint, our fire control radar, and our radar altimeter we're going to turn to on. I like to turn on the instrument panel lights so I can see things a little easier. Over here on the left, we're going to turn on, we're going to toggle the FLCS bit reset, because that just clears an error. You're going to seal the canopy. And we're going to turn on the COM1, COM2 volume, comms to both, comms to upper front console over here. ILS on in case we decide we want it. We've got a nice clear day. Power up our RWR. Power up our missile warning system, chaff, flare dispensers. Mode to manual. Our head-mounted queuing system on. Stores config, we are heavy with air to ground, so Cat 3. Parking brake on. Lights to taxi. And that's set up. Then don't forget to hand off the radar warning receiver. Turn on our HUD. Go to the list page. Might have to hit that twice because you start out in the page for the INS when you set it to align. Hit miscellaneous. R sequence 0. Hold down cursor enable. Align field. Hold steady with those aligned. That's good. You can go to list page 6, and we have got INS. Repeat the INS alignment. While we wait. Oh yeah, we also need to data cartridge load, and then test page clear. The only warning we've got left is IFF because data cartridge is currently loading. Data cartridge is loaded. INS is aligned and ready. Switch to nav mode. Steer point 2, UHF2. We'll go air to ground mode. We'll power on our GBU 39s with this button here. From here, we will request that they remove the EPU ground safety pin, remove the wheel shocks, request a taxi for departure.
Agent 2, you are number 1 for departure. Taxi, Papa, Echo, and hold short runway 18.
Right, also steering engage, hold short runway 18. Runway 18 is at this end. Now the airspace near where we're planning to go looks a little hairy, so we might have to engage in some air combat, which should be a good time, depending on your definition of a good time. Got a pair of F-16s coming in for a landing, it looks like. I believe that's actually our last mission coming into land. Man, they landed pretty much at the same time. That's terrifying. Our wingman isn't taxiing with us, but that's because we're much before our taxi time, or much before our takeoff time is designated. As soon as we request takeoff clearance, the wingman is going to come up and taxi up to us, so we're going to take a little bit.
Echo 6-1, request taxi back. Agent 2-1, contact tower for takeoff. Switch to 29230. Mako.
All right.
Mako 6-1, contact low. Switch
Ready for
to
departure.
73525. Mako 6-2, contact low. Switch to 73525. Cajun 2, hold short.
Press it again. Is to speed things up. And he's moving.
Cajun 2, Kunsan Tower, wing 230 at 10 knots, runway 18. You are cleared for takeoff.
Taxi faster, wingman. We're going to put it into 4x speed just so that he can get here faster. Tower's probably going to be like, what are you doing? Speed up your departure. All right, let's line up on the runway. Just steering off, we'll line ourselves up. Got wingman coming in. All right, you need to line and ready. Step on the brakes. Throttle the max. RPM at 100. Release. Gonna rotate
Agent 2-1,
at
what is your problem? You are disrupting traffic.
180. Rotate. Gear up. We can see our wingman doing his takeoff run.
Agent 2-1.
You got a Nat for Top Gun before this? How appropriate. Report airborne.
Agent 2, Comisan departure. Fly heading 110. Resume on navigation.
110, resume on navigation. Going to attitude hold. Oh, and turn off the other part of the autopilot that I had left on. The tank, how was MagFest? Hydrate, okay, okay. Oh, and you want a moe cute? Good, you're enjoying yourself. I haven't been to a con in like 4 or 5 years at this point. All right, we're airborne, so we're going to turn our ECM on. And I think we have to depress all of these buttons. They're a little hard to tell because there isn't like a, I don't think there's like a professional texture for these. We will CMS back, and ECM is now enabled. We got a whole bunch of radar contacts. We will all friendlies. And we're gonna fence in as well. So lights off. Master arm is on. Just switch to the tactical frequency. Nearest air threat, please.
Agent 2, Magic 7, things are quiet right now.
We're gonna actually say screw it, and we're gonna fly right towards our target. And we got a hell of a crosswind again. 56 knots. That's a youch. And you're seeing right now that we've got this, okay, it's kind of hard to tell because it's right behind our HUD. But our flight path marker is X'd out, which is saying that, hey, your flight path marker is off your HUD. So its position is not accurate where it is. We can flip this switch up to get rid of that. But oh my god, this crosswind. It's made some of our landings a little trickier. We've got on radar warning receiver 3 airborne search radars behind us, which is interesting. That's typically AWACS behind us. We got an airborne AAA. That always confused me. I wonder what the heck that is. Hey, we got a flight of F-18s. F-18s really do some legwork against some of the tougher enemies. And then they proceed to crash into the ground like F-18s are known to do. I wonder if autopilot can steer us onto this thing since we can't see it. I'm just getting so blown so far off the target. It's crazy. Radar's clean, which is unexpected. Hank, why are you sending me lewd images on Discord while I'm streaming? Oh, I found another bind that doesn't work. Why doesn't that work? But that was nothing important. That was just me setting up stuff for later. Getting a little close to our target. We are within the jettison zone. So, TMS up. Bombs away. Next steer point, TMS up. Bombs away. Next steer point, TMS up. Bombs away. And defensive. Time to skedaddle. Yep. We dropped the first bomb, which was the most important, which should hit the fire control radar. Hey, Thesaurus, thank you for the follow. I had to take a second to figure out if that was my aircraft warning or not. Can we see the launch anywhere? I think it just went cold. And we're not hearing, was it mud? We're not hearing mud, so we should be safe. But we dropped our munitions, so we're gonna go back. Turn to base, head to waypoint sky. Alright, my radar cursor is back to normal. Last stream it was inverted, which was a real pain for me to manage. So we can do AA stuff today. Throw the autopilot back into altitude hold. One last call to AWACS, nearest air threat.
Agent 2-1, Magic 7, nearest threat, bullseye. 17521 1000. Pass, bogey, print, MiG-21s, 2-ship.
It's nothing to worry about because they're quite a ways away. So we're going to drop down to the approach frequency, contact the tower. Request an unrestricted approach because I don't feel like doing an overhead approach.
Heading 300, descend to 4000, maintain 260 knots, runway 18. Good afternoon, Agent 2-1, finish down approach, continue inbound, a straight in approach, runway 18, welcome back.
Runway 18, straight in approach. 2975, that's quite different. Let's get our QNH set. There we are. Throttle back to idle. Descend. Moon-san, my love.
Altitude.
Thanks, Betty. I know my altitude. We're gonna fly down, drop to about 2,000 feet, and then make our final approach to the airport. We'll get thrown over to the tower pretty soon.
Agent 2-1, contact tower for landing, switch to 2.
Best landing.
Cajun 2-1, Kunsan Tower. Continue inbound for runway 18. Report on final.
All right, we're right about where we need to be. We're gonna turn on to final and then drop our gear and speed brakes. Actually, we sped up pretty quick. Forgetting that I'm like completely unladen here since we dropped our tanks and munitions. You're down, speed brakes out. Port on final. 25 knot wind. You need to come right. We're going to be crabbing quite a bit. Stay onto the runway. Bit of zoom.
Cajun 2-1, Coon
Gears down and locked.
230 at 10 knots. Runway 18, cleared for landing. Check gear down.
Right a little bit more. Coming in pretty low this time. Because normally we've got at least one pappy light. And we are down. I had a lot of satisfaction watching a video of just a bunch of F-16s landing and seeing that very, very few of them landed on the center line. So I don't feel too bad that I never land on the center line. Off the runway, a little fast for that turn.
Contact low, switch to 73525.
All right, another good mission. Good day, I take her back. Mission's still in progress. What are you talking about? 3 hits, we hit. Fan song, nice. Okay, so that SA2 is now down. So we can do a little bit of time acceleration to get rid of this flight plan so I can adjust this steer point. Oh, here we go. AAA, he is down. Oh, we got an HQ battalion here. What is this? 103rd HQ battalion. He's got a pair of SA-15s. So it might be time for some SA-15 hunting. We could do part of me wants to try Mavs again. Another part of me really doesn't want to try Mavs again. Because Mavs are a real pain. If we do harms, we're probably going to take these out no problem. If we do Mavs, we are probably going to die. Another option is laser guided bombs might work. And it might be fun to try them out. And we've got a pretty clear day, so that should be an option. Look at that little radar spinning for dear life. If anybody has any opinions on whether they'd rather see harm employment, an attempt at laser guided bombs, which I have glanced through the tutorial for and never used, or Mavs, speak now or forever hold your peace. Going once. A10 style guns only. No way. The guns don't damage certain things. It's annoying. And plus, if we check this again, I'm sure they've got a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, ZSU 23 is no thanks. Boom boom. What's that mean? And also Stewman and Panda Drone, thank you for stopping by. This is a BMS learning stream, so if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. If there's like a mission you want me to run through or a system you want me to show you how to use, don't hesitate to ask. Just don't expect me to be good with the MAVs or the laser guided bombs, because I haven't used the laser guided bombs yet, and the MAVs are really mean. They don't like to work. I'm gonna do air interdiction, veteran. This is gonna be, yeah, that. 2 F-16 Block 50s from our squadron. We're going to lock the takeoff time to 14:30 or 4:30. Long time since you last flew Falcon 4.0, but 437 has you interested. That's good to hear. I ended up really getting into Falcon BMS with 4.35 and 4.36. So I actually haven't been playing all that long. All right, loadout. We are going to grab actually, wait a second. Yeah, I'll grab the harms. And then for other, sniper targeting pod, the harm targeting system. I should have unselected my wingman for that, but then we'll unselect myself. Wingman can have the lantern targeting pod. At a ground, he will get CBU 97s. And we'll see how this works. Because maybe we can take out those SAM systems, and then he can take out the rest. Data cartridge comm plan, load the comm plan, IFF plan, load the IFF plan. Those are pretty much the same since we're taking off soon enough to our last mission. Save our campaign. Take off. We'll do another ramp start. 10 minutes, more than enough time for a ramp start. All right. Canopy down. At our legs. Nothing above us, so we're going to arm our seat. Main power on. Probe heat on. Fuel source normal. IFF normal. Lights on. Engine start 2. Fuel source normal. Oxygen on. Engine anti-ice auto. Gonna set up the comms while we wait, because this is usually done faster than the RPMs will climb. RPM is at 10%. $15. And 20. Throttle to idle. Watch the temperature gauge. I like how the pedals kind of just look like they're a PNG moving back and forth. There's no change in perspective, I don't think. All right, engine is good. Left hard point, right hard point, fire control radar, radar altimeter, lights, MMC stores, MFD, front console, GPS data link, INS to align. FLCS bit reset. Let's try turning the ECM on the ground. See what happens. Comms are set. Seal the canopy. RWR, missile warning system, chaff, flare, manual, HMCS on. License to taxi. Source config cat 1, parking brake on. Hand off the RWR. Data cartridge load. Test page clear. IFF is still loading. Turn on the HUD. Then miscellaneous. Move on to the queuing system. Aligned. All right. Then we can go list page 6, bring up the INS again, and we're still waiting. Meantime, steer point 1 and 2. Parking brake is on, so we're going to request they remove our EPU ground safety pin, remove our wheel chocks. Then I'm going to do page 2, ALO 14000 feet, so 14,000 feet for our altitude warning. I miss having that set up in an INI file or a config file. The new version got rid of that change. I just have to go back and set it. INS is at 1.5. Ready. INS is lined. Let's taxi for departure. Number 1 for departure.
You are number 1 for departure. Taxi, Papa, Echo, and hold short runway 18.
Got 2 F-16s doing an overhead brake. Wingman, you gonna join me? Or are you still starting up? The AI jets basically started. The overhead brake is really cool. Requires some really precise flying to manage. We might give that a go if we survive this mission. Hey, there's a wingman. And then for taxiing, you're generally recommended 25 in a straight line. And this is ground speed that can be seen on the INS page right here. So 25 in a straight line, 15 around curves. I definitely recommend sticking to that 15 around curves. Otherwise, you might flip your aircraft. Although I don't actually know if you can roll an F-16 in this. Coming in, they're coming in. It's always fun watching the aircraft coming in land. It's even cooler when you've got like wings of 4+ coming in.
Weasel, 7-1, contact tower.
Landing lights. Ready for departure.
Weasel, 7, hold short.
We'll request again, although that might cause us problems. Hey, Bourbon, thank you for the follow. How are you doing? Position and hold,
Weasel,
runway
7,
18.
Kunsan Tower. Position and hold, runway 18.
Wind is off our right, so we're going to position on the left. So that way we are downwind of our wingman and won't get blown into his path. All right, nose wheel steering off.
Cajun 2-1, contact low.
Brakes.
Switch to 7
You
3
want?
5
Oh, Bourbon,
2
you want
5.
a moe?
Cajun 2-2, contact low. Switch to 7 3 5 2 5.
No, I didn't get the Q and H for this, but we're just gonna leave it as what it is. Yeah, yeah. You like it? Okay, okay, okay. I didn't expect that. Wingman, why are you taking so long? We got tanks to kill. All right, he's aligned and ready. Step on the brakes. Throttle to maximum. RPM 100%. Release. We're gonna rotate at 175. Rotate.
Weasel 7-1, Kunsan Tower.
Yep.
You're out of line, mister. Contact the stop
what?
when you land.
They gave us clearance.
Weasel 7-1, contact departure.
Oh well. Port airborne.
Weasel 7, Kunsan, departure. Fly heading 090. Resume on navigation.
All right. We're on our way to take out that SAM site. I wonder if this is gonna work now. Okay, so this is the little weird thing that I noticed with the jammer before. If you turn it on while on the ground, you have to hit the buttons to make it work. How realistic would I say the simulator is? I'd say it's quite realistic. Because anything I want to do, I have to do in the aircraft. Although you'll see that I'm not hitting necessarily a whole bunch of the buttons, because like, if I want to hit this button, I've got a controller that I can hit that button for and control a lot of this stuff, because I've got a really good flight sim setup. But it is as accurate as we can manage with publicly available information. All right, since we are right near the front line is this dotted line here. We're going to do what's called fencing in right now. So we're going to turn our lights off. We're going to turn our master arm on. We're going to make sure that our jammer is operating properly. And we can switch mode 4 on and off. I forget which mode interferes with our harm targeting system. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And one of the complicated things that they just added is this whole jammer thing, where there's like 4, 5 different modes that it jams on. And like, I know this one is this one interferes. Well, if we put this switch in this position and we have this one on, our ability to lock up targets with our radar is a lot less. But in this mode, it's not. And I forget which one of these modes our harm targeting system operates on. But today we are hunting enemy surface-to-air missiles. We're GBU-39. No GBU-39s today. We're hunting SA-15s, which are a mobile SAM system. So we're going to power up our AGM-88s. They're on. We're going to bring our HAD system up. I'm going to drop the distance on this down. We're going to align ourselves. Yeah, we fired some GBU-39s earlier today, but we're taking out an enemy HQ battalion this mission. Oh, and let's switch to our tactical frequency so we can hear our early warning system stuff. Oh, and our fire control radar has some targets on it. So you can see this grouping of enemies, so we know that we're looking in the right place, more or less. But we don't have anything on radar, which we don't quite expect because we are 27 nautical miles out, and we probably won't see the SA-15 trying to lock onto us until we're within about 10. To be so afraid of flying on planes, even though you fly yearly. Only recently that you got over the field here. The view is super cool. Yeah, flying is super cool. I wish I could fly planes in real life, but it is just so expensive to get a pilot license. So instead, I play flight sims like this. And comparatively, this flight sim is only $5 as opposed to like the 6,000 you need for a private pilot license. And then flying is just so expensive because like all the fuel and all of the maintenance on the aircraft and renting the aircraft or owning the aircraft is so expensive. We're gonna turn on our autopilot for altitude hold. I should totally get VR for this sim. I would, but VR adds more load, and most other sims, aside from this one, are not too friendly to computers, and they like to melt things. 5 compared to the $3 trillion I need to get DCS. Yeah, DCS is an expensive flight sim. Yeah, this one does have VR, but I don't know how I'm gonna. I don't know exactly how streaming it would be because outputting the view from VR sounds like it would be pretty resource intensive. We're going to be in another case of oh, our targeting pod isn't on yet. So this is supposed to display a camera view of the thing we're trying to shoot at, but it hasn't turned on yet because we were too fast getting into the air. Oopsies. SA-15 spotted. So we're going to lock him up on our right MFD. Got a purple box around him. We see in the upper right there's PGM-4. And we want to wait until that is PGM-1, so we're going to fly to the side of it. Hope that it doesn't get us. It's flashing M, which is very scary. PGM-1. Magnum. And we hope that hits. He's down there by this, what, a nuclear plant? We're gonna turn away from it. Hope that it doesn't shoot at us. Tihi pero? What? Tihi pero for what? Is that 40 FPS with campaign missions? That's... I see. We hit something. The SA-15, the first SA-15 is no longer on our radar warning receiver, which is good. Oh, the second one is on our radar warning receiver, it looks like. Oh, I've got to trim out the aircraft. When I said oopsie, I forget what I said oopsie about. Oh, yeah, because we got in the air too fast. I'm too fast for this aircraft. The aircraft can't keep up. I am speed. Yeah, I know my attitude is wonky. I'm turning. We're trying to turn hard. So we can see our targeting pod. Oh, hey, there's that other one. You can tell it's it because it's got the little spinny thingy on top. And now I sit here and wait for it to try to lock me up so I can shoot at it. Now I think this marker here is the other one, and I don't really want to send my harm after that. But maybe once we see it on here, which is our radar warning receiver, which tells us what's locking us up with their radar, if we see it, we might fire, and then the harm should be able to home in on it. Because the harm is the high-speed anti-radiation missile, I think the acronym is. Come on, turn on your radar. You know you want to. Oh, here he is. Hello there. PGM-4, PGM-3, PGM-2. PGM-1. All right, we got him. Magnum. And we got a warning, or a caution, because our load switch has to change. And get a nice view on this guy as we take him out. Not out on a lunch. Oh, I think we got him. All right, let's lock this one up. And wingman, attack my target. Excuse me while I try to trim out my aircraft here. Wants to roll a bit to the side. Why is that up there? Cursor 0 this. Why are you being so weird? That is not supposed to happen. I'm thoroughly confused. But we can swap over. Where the heck are we? Are we flying somewhere dangerous? No, we're not. Okay. AWACS, where's the nearest enemy?
Weasel 7-1, Magic 7, nearest threat, bullseye 190. 2-3, 21,000. Hostile print, big 23s, 2-ship.
19023. That is actually close to us-ish. Where is our wingman? Is he inbound? Oh, that's backwards. Wingman. Wingman, where you at? Did he manage to get himself shot down? Or am I just on the wrong channel? Oh, I'm on VHF-6 and I should be on... does this say? Frick. What is my what's my comm ladder? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think normally it's 15.
Weasel 7-2.
Okay, there we go.
4, bomb. 2, radar. 2, heat. Fuel state 7-3.
Back my target, there we go.
2, Wilco.
Air contacts, let's investigate. They all look to be friendly. How did this switch to black hot? I'm confused. You can switch it back. I'm just very confused. Huh. I haven't seen that before. And we can see our wingman on data link now. This might be a quick campaign. Nothing worth noting on radar warning receiver. Hey man, where you at? Wingman, what you doing? What you doing? Talk to me. Goose. Look at these glorious ground textures.
No, in.
He's in? All right. See him starting his bombing run. And there's like no way in heck we're gonna pick him out against this background. Although actually he should be, yeah, he's high up. There he is. One flare. Why are you flaring, man?
CBU's dropped.
CBUs. I see him.
Two, out.
Out. Come on, drop the rest of your CBUs, man. Alright, we're gonna head home because waiting for the AI to drop stuff is gonna be boring. But hey, he got a hit. Destroyed some trucks. Alright. Steer point back to 1. Actually, we're going to pick waypoint sky, which is for some reason got a.
7-2, on my way.
Are we taking AAA fire? Quite possibly. I saw some flashes by me. That's never a good sign. I can see Gunsan already. We're within 30 nautical miles, so we're going to request actually, we're going to request an overhead approach just for the cool factor.
Good afternoon. Weasel, 7-1. Finish down the approach. You're cleared all the way in. Overhead approach. Runway 18.
Right.
Welcome back.
Master arm off.
Using H2 973.
Lights back on. 2973. It's going to be important for this. So we have an accurate altitude. Throttle the idle. Turn our autopilot off. And we're going to commence our dive. Wingman, where are you? Right, we're not going to be able to see exactly where he is because we're on the tower frequency. We'll use some air brakes, so we're going to have to dive quite a bit.
Altitude.
There we get that 14,000 feet altitude warning.
Weasel 7-1, contact tower for landing.
West landing.
Weasel 7, Kunsan Tower. Continue inbound for runway 18. Report overhead.
And SA-2 somewhere behind us, painting us with his radar. We gotta drop quite steeply and quite quickly. So we want to be going about 300 knots at 15,000 feet, or 1,500 feet, as we pass over the runway. So our wingman's too far behind for this to work. Well, we'll see what happens. There's no idea. Air brakes in. Brake. We lost too much altitude during that. Oops. And we've gained too much speed. The overhead brake is quite hard. It requires a lot of experience with piloting in general to manage. All right, gear down. No, we didn't turn hard enough. Down full PC.
Weasel
What?
7, Kunsan Tower. Wing
Gears down
230
locked.
at 9 knots. Runway 18 cleared for landing. Check
Air
gear
brakes
down.
out. The overhead brake is so hard. Although the biggest issue I typically have with it is that I don't know when I do it with my wingman properly, quote unquote, I say. But when I do it with my wingman and my wingman's actually there, I have trouble seeing where the heck he is to make sure that we've got the proper safe spacing. Gotta throttle up. Okay, okay. Full afterburner. Yeah, full afterburner with gear down is a surefire way to destroy your landing gear. Don't ask me how I know. I wonder if there's going to be enough air targets for us to start messing around with some air targets. Getting 600 miles per hour. The F-16's gear is, the wheels are only rated for like 270.
273-525.
Hey Galaxy, thank you for stopping by. How are you? I am Nika, your company man VTuber with his head in the clouds, since I'm always flying planes. And for once, we are actually flying planes. It looks like we took out the two SA-15s as we expected. So that means we don't have to worry about these guys. Last time I did this campaign specifically, we had some annoyance with these SA-15s always beating us up. If we want to see some air action, the most surefire way is to fly out over here and we'll get swarmed and it will be awful. Otherwise, we've got this SA-2 still up. I don't get what these FA-18s are doing. They're like just flying around trying to get themselves killed by SA-2s. But let's do new package, new F-16s. We're going to do a bar cap. All right, we're going to throw ourselves out here roughly where we know we're not going to get destroyed by SA-2s if we fly out. Takeoff time is going to be 5:03. Slot in, loadout, 2 AM-120B AMRAAMs. Oh, we've got, why do we have all AMRAAMs? We're going to switch these ones to AM-120Cs. We're going to ditch these ones, and we're going to take the two AIM-9X Sidewinders, heat-seeking missiles, because I will in no way in hell will I go up in the air without at least a Sidewinder or two. Anytime I don't bring Sidewinders, all the enemies just want a close-range dogfight, and so I'm going to bring the Sidewinders, which are great at close-range dogfighting. Com plan, IFF plan, save. We're going to set the patrol duration to 3 minutes. A save. And we're going to take off. I'll do another quick ramp start. We'll see some high action. I wonder if the Israeli theater of operations, the Israeli 80s, is updated yet, because that theater was so much fun. It's because everything is pretty much heat-seeking missile. All right, canopy closed. Armor seat. Main power on. Probe heat on. Fuel source normal. IFF normal, lights on, engine start 2, air source normal, oxygen on, engine anti-ice auto. Watch our engine RPM climb. 9X can circle around a target. The high off bore sight is just so nice, especially with the HMCS on the thing. Block 50s, yep, we're flying USAF Block 50s in the Korean Theater of Operations. So engine RPM 20%, and we will throttle to idle. Yeah, it's probably pretty easy to tell with this panel, because I know the block 30 and 40 have different panels. Hey Terry, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. Watch our FTIT gauge. I've only ever gotten one hot start. All right, we're good. MMC, stores, MFD, upper front console, GPS, data link, INS line, left hardpoint, right hardpoint, fire control radar, radar altimeter, instrument panel lights, FLCS bit reset, ECM on. Then we're gonna have to toggle those once we get in the air, but I'd rather do that than forget to turn on the ECM overall. COM 1, COM 2, comms to both. Make sure this is an upper front console. It is. Seal the canopy. RWR, missile warning system, chaff, flare, manual, HMCS on, taxi lights on, stores config is Cat 3, parking brake on, hand off the RWR, data cartridge load, test page, clear. You fly the DCS block 50. So as far as I know, the only way to really tell the difference between a block 40 and a block 50 is the cockpits of a 40 and a 50 after the CCIP should be the same, but the 50 has upgraded antennas and the 40 I believe does not, although someone said they do. As far as I understand, USAF block 50s, even with the CCIP upgrade, do not have these, or block 40s with the CCIP do not have these antennas. Do I see the MFDs? Yes, the MFDs I actually have set up so that I've got the Cougars stuck to a screen and 2 MFDs displaying them, and it is quite nice. I'm able to do that with both BMS and DCS. We're going to go to the list page, miscellaneous, head-mounted queuing system, course alignment, align okay. I'm gonna check the azimuth one. Yeah, I figured that was gonna be off by a little bit. We're gonna fix that because we'll want to have that be pretty close for air-to-air ops. 3.2, UHF2. You're going to try Israeli 80s later. It is a lot of fun. The ZU-23s, not the ZSU-23s, the ZU-23s, the not radar-guided 23mm dual autocannons for anti-air purposes, are super deadly. So be warned. INS is aligned and ready. All right. Remove the EPU. I hit F1. Remove the EPU ground safety pin. Remove the wheel chocks and request taxi for departure.
Good afternoon, Jackal 3. You are number 1 for departure. Taxi, Papa, Echo, and hold short runway 18.
Runway 18. Roger that. You got a pair of F-16s coming in for an overhead approach. The one that we messed up because our wingman was too far behind to manage. I think at this point, my biggest complaint about BMS is that navigation lights are virtually worthless. Like, it does not make it easier to see aircraft against the ground or anything. When realistically, the top strobe usually does make an aircraft quite a bit easier to spot, at least against the ground when it's a dark aircraft against dark ground. I wonder if an updated ground graphics overhaul that is coming eventually. I wonder if that'll make it easier to spot things against the ground, because that's typically my biggest problem in BMS overall. Never turn on your lights in DCS. I do it in BMS because it's a habit. The DCS lights are actually worth something, though. IL-2, you turn on your lights and everything can see you from like 30 miles away. It's absurd. Radar, standby to CRM. And every time I see CRM, I think that is cockpit resource management, which we do not have because we are a single-seater. So we do not have a co-pilot to pass anything off to, which is big sad when trying to do complicated things. Like, say, fly super low and take out enemy ground targets or anything else. What planes are in this game? So realistically, the only planes that are in this game right now is the F-16 and a work in progress F-15. However, there is a there are a bunch of other aircraft that are just F-16s reskinned to be other aircraft.
Jackal 3-1, contact tower for takeoff. Switch to 29230.
I don't really consider those to be other aircraft that much. Ready for departure. Doing seed and DCS. Yeah, seed is hard. Deed is easy. Ready for departure again, just to make sure that they're not going to hold us short.
Jackal 3,
Position and hold.
on tower. Position and hold. Runway 18.
So this time I'll remember that they said position and hold, not cleared for takeoff. Teehee. Long time Falcon 4 user looking to fly in VR. I do not know anything about Falcon 4 VR, unfortunately. I've not tried it. I do not own VR. I don't think I can budget VR yet. I have too many other expensive hobbies I want to do. While we're waiting, let's set Halo to 14000. Double check all our systems are good.
Weasel 72, contact low. Switch to 73525.
Wingman is lining up. Yep, there is VR support in this VMS version. There is a bug I've heard of, which is if you're on a really busy airport, it will try to draw more things than it is capable of and crash. Yeah, the problem I have with VR is that at this point I've got a good enough PC where I could run VR, but I don't think I could run VR and stream it, and I don't want to get VR for a flight sim because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I did VR and then I can't go back. And I don't want to end up in that position. Hey, tower, you gonna let us take off? We're burning fuel.
Jackal 3, Kunsan Tower, wing 230 at 9 knots, runway 18. You are cleared for takeoff.
All right, clear for takeoff. We're going to rotate at about 155, I think is good for this loadout. Throttle to full, RPM 100, release. Rotate. The light Falcon is so nice. Gear up. Yeah, it's BMS is a lot less intensive than DCS is.
Jackal 3, Kunsan departure. Depart heading 355. Resume on navigation.
I want you to basically turn straight around. All right, I'll do that for you. You want to go back? That's why you stopped flying Falcon. I've heard a couple people say that. Oh my God, we're so fast. We're so light. All right, so looks like we're green across the board for ECM. I wonder how ECM actually works for air-to-air. I haven't really gotten any experience with it for air-to-air yet. AWACS, nearest air threat, please. Things are quiet.
Jackal 3.
Heck no, I don't want things to be quiet. I want things to be noisy. how comm works. How do I know when to change channels? So BMS comms are actually quite simple if you're doing a generated mission. By default, you start on comm 1, UHF 1, and then you just keep moving up. So you'll actually switch to UHF 2, and that's your ground crew and the ground for the airport. So that's where you request they remove your wheel chocks and you request a taxi clearance. 3 is tower. So once you taxi to where the ground clearance tells you to go for takeoff, they'll hand you off to the tower and tell you to switch to the tower frequency. They'll read off a channel if you've got the comms letters preset already, as you should in most missions. You just have to, on this page, you actually just have to hit up. On your numpad, it should be numpad plus, and it'll just put you 1 higher. And then once you take off, and they'll say, hey, contact departure, and you increment contact departure. And then there's a check-in frequency. I tend to not use that because it's the same as the AWACS sometimes. So now I'm on the AWACS frequency, and I can say, hey, nearest air threat.
Jackal 3-1, Magic 7, nearest threat, bullseye 2-9-1-6-5, 21,000, dragging, hostile, print, mid-23.
Realistic damage. You want realistic damage for an F-16, but like 90% of the checklists are, all right, if you can't fix it by turning it off and on again, eject. All right, we are also going to fence it, so we're going to lights off, master arm on. I noticed that my VHF is on 6 instead of 15, which is odd. Keeps happening. Yep, you want to be speaking with AWACS because your rules of engagement are technically you have to ask AWACS before you can engage any radar contacts, or you have to visually identify them, which we can do when we are in MRM mode. Targeting pod, standby air-to-air, and if your targeting pod is in air-to-air mode, when you lock onto a target with your radar, it will point the targeting pod on that target. Master arms on, ECM authorization is granted. So we see they all switch from standby to authorized. Oh, since we are doing a CAT mission, we can go to the check-in frequency of 5 on UHF, and we can check in, which we'll get no response to. But that should start the timer running on our patrol.
Jackal 3, Magic 7, unable.
Best picture.
Jackal 3-1, Magic 7, pictures 3 groups.
Oh god,
Range
picture.
has
Not what I wanted. I wanted nearest air threat.
South group, bullseye 255
255 33.
Southeast, hostile. East group, bullseye 305 177,000. Track east, hostile. North group, bullseye 330 3920,000. Track north, hostile.
And I'm gonna, real quick, while we're goofing off here, try to fix a keybind issue. Key mapping, CRS. How did that get unbound? Increase, save. HDDG, increase 1, yep. Decrease 1, save. All right, that should take. Nope, didn't take in flight, weird. other keybinds were working in that respect, but oh well. I'll fix it after stream. My controller has knobs for this heading and course.
2. Request permission to engage bandits.
Engage bandits. Wait, bandits where? Ah, bandit here. Declare. Contact is outlaw.
3-1, magic. 7, contact is outlaw.
What is he? What are you? That looks like not a friendly aircraft. Looks like a MiG-23.
Jackal 3-1, magic. 7, contact confirmed hostile. ID is MiG-23.
Got him locked up. Altitude hold off. We're going to go up high. Well, afterburner. Master arm is off. It is a MiG-23. Oh, he's diving away. It's a flopper. So outlaw is it's in a position that suggests it is an enemy, but it is unconfirmed. What the heck is this guy doing? He's like doing all sorts of aerobatics. Come on, let me shoot at you. We gotta have something entertaining on this stream. Got another MiG-23 coming at us. $135 feet over a forest area. Yeah, flying low can be fun. Declare. Friendly.
3-1, magic. 7, contact is friendly.
Where'd that MiG-23 go? Altitude hold. Those must be those friendly targets we were locking up. F-18s. Am I painting him? No, not anymore. What's this? That's our enemy.
Jackal
MiG-23.
7, contact confirmed hostile. ID
He
is
has
MiG-23.
turned and is running away. Oh, he's turning back. Two SA-6s in front of me. I can't see you. Alright, 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 alright. What the heck is this guy doing? He's gonna like belly flop into the ground. But he keeps turning away so that we can't engage him. Oh, there's his buddy again.
Jackal 3-1, magic. 7, nearest threat. Route 305, 820,000.
305, 820,000.
Two ship. Two, engaging, MiG-23, 10 o'clock, low.
Box 3. Shit, they're close.
Back, flare.
Where did they go? Where did they go? Where did they go? There's one.
Lock.
There he is. Burner to catch up with him. We've got a solid lock. Let's get a good probability shot. Box 2. Good hit, Sidewinder. Where's that other one? Missiles, missiles. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he at? Where is he at? Where is he at? Where is he at? Shit. I could not see him at all. Yeah, RWR had him straight ahead, but was he up or was he down? Couldn't see him.
2, Magic 7, be advised, hostiles bearing.
Alright, we can try this again. Is he up high? Who knows? I couldn't tell. I didn't see his contrails above us. Wrong mission slotted into. That's the landing mission. We'll check our loadout. Loadout is good. This is multiplayer. No, this is single player. This is the dynamic campaign. So the trouble with MiG-23s is that anytime I encounter them, they just burn straight towards us and then try to get into a tight fight with us, which is what I am worst at. Yeah, switch. At her legs. Okay, so ECM you see is on right now, and everything is on standby. Radar altimeter is off for whatever reason by default when you're starting here. Throttle up. Stuff has come a long way. Yes, it has. Let's turn the nose and steering off before I manage to roll myself.
Slip 1, hold short.
Rotate. You're up. HSD, yeah, is awesome. It is quite lovely. It is like my one saving
Jackal
throw
3-1, contact departure.
when we're in close fights like that.
Jackal 3, bonus time, departure. Fly heading 355. Resume on navigation.
That wingman coming up behind us. And we're going to fence in immediately again. ECM authorized. Master arm on. MRM override mode. Standby air to air. DCS radars don't work right now. That's weird. I know in DCS, the jammer here, basically, if you ever turn it on, no matter what, even if you're in mode 1, it absolutely destroys your ability to lock anything up. Which shouldn't happen, because in mode 1, which is what we're at now, XMT1 rather, just so that you don't confuse it with the other mode buttons here, but in XMT1 it is avionics priority, so only the rear jammer is active. If we're in XMT2, both jammers are active, but they're only jamming automatically. So like right now you see it's decided that we're gonna jam, oh, we're not jamming mode 3 anymore, but it'll only jam on modes that it decides are needed based off of what's locking your aircraft. And then the last one is always on, both fore and aft. And generally right now I leave it on mode 1, but I should leave it on mode 2, and I should turn off mode 4. I actually have a button on my controller for mode 4. Mode 4 is what interferes with your fire control radar, but most enemies also use the same frequency band for their fire control radar, which makes it not terribly useful. Nearest air threat, please.
Jackal 3-1, Magic 7, nearest threat, bullseye 22546, 21,000. Dragging, hostile print, MiG-21.
22546. That's right in our hunting ground. A lot for the jammer. It used to work, not work very well. I would kind of argue that the jammer used to work better, but that was because in the previous implementation it just made you harder to lock up by everything, which was a lot simpler to use and a lot more straightforward, and it had no impact on your own avionics. 4.37 added this, and as far as I can tell, the theory of jammer use in air-to-air combat is very speculative right now in the sim community, because as far as I know, no sim game has had jammers that work. So it'll be interesting to see what quote-unquote meta comes out for this, because I bet the actual employment of jammers in real life is still heavily under lock and key. All we really know is the operation of it, because we have that from like manuals, but we don't know exactly what it does. So like the jammer at this point, for me, it's a no-brainer if we're doing ground attack stuff with like dumb bombs, laser bombs, GPS bombs, not harm stuff basically, because the jammer can't interfere with them, and it just gets out. Hey Rose, thank you for trying to block that for me, but I think you missed it. Nearest air threat, please.
Jackal 3-1, Magic 7, nearest threat, bullseye 2002, 17,000. Dragging, hostile print, MiG-21, 2-ship.
For everyone new here, you should try out the missile redeem. I think I actually got it fixed. I tested it just before stream. Ah, there we go. It works. When can I strap a CWIS to my F-16 so I don't have to worry about missiles? And where did everything come from? There's this freaking massive cloud of things. In real life, at some point, I want one of these buttons. Even a non-functioning one. I just want one of these so I can punch it. This sounds fun.
Jekyll 3-1, Magic 7, nearest threats bullseye 16529 12,000.
16529. It's like right in the middle of SAM territory. What's this thing? MiG-21.
Magic 7, contact confirmed hostile. ID is MiG-21.
Time to bully a MiG-21 if we can manage it before all of our other allied aircraft in the area destroy him. This poor MiG-21 isn't even going to know that we're here. He's going to get some blinking lights telling him that there is some aircraft in his vicinity locking him up, which he probably already very well knows considering the massive number of aircraft behind him. Our AMRAAM is quite possibly worth more than this aircraft we're about to try to shoot down with it. But such is life. At least we're not shooting down an AN-2 biplane this time by accident. He's getting farther away from us? How? Not allowed. Get back here. It's a little bugger. What's he engaging? What are those aircraft down there? Shoot, I lost them. You can get a sniper pod? Yep, I've actually got the sniper targeting pod on it right now. SA-15, or yeah, SA-15 off somewhere over there. What was the button for it? What was the button for it? Yeah. See, we got the sniper targeting pod right here. I don't think you've ever seen it used for AA. I like to use the targeting pod for AA because it helps you visually identify targets, which sometimes can save you just a couple seconds compared to using the declare. We're going to turn it around and head back to our patrol area. I am doing well. Thank you, Rose. How are you? DCS doesn't have it yet. From what I've heard, DCS is trying to simulate a very specific, like 2000s variant of the F-16, which is sad because we don't get all the cool F-16 stuff like the GBU-39s and a MiG-23 coming in at us. How far out is he? 5. Shit. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? We're playing this game again. 1,000.
Locked.
We're gonna break off because I don't like the idea of trying to engage over this town that is heavily enemy occupied. (15E) will get the sniper. Yeah, the 15E is gonna get all the fun stuff. That's a damaged MiG-23, isn't it? Skyrim to dance for you, and you just need to give you night vision as a vampire and fix that issue, and you're all set. That sounds fun. SA-15 in front. Trying to avoid it. This guy is still just circling there. Huh. The close Kaz from the F-15 you talking, or? Yeah, and the F-15s is also gonna get the nav flare and TFR. I gotta fix this bug. I'd wondered why the F-16 stopped mounting the nav flare and terrain following radar, because the Block 40 has it, but then the Block 50 they said, yeah, nope, we're not mounting any of them on that. And supposedly this, which is all hearsay, so take it for what you will, one F-16 pilot online said that a Block 40 had an accident with the nav flare, and it was a CFIT accident, and the Air Force said, yeah, trying to do low-level attacks in a single-seater aircraft is not a good idea. Let's do only two-seaters, so the F-15 gets it instead. MiG-21 is just vibing at 51,000 feet. MiG-21s can even fly that high? Oh, I'm on the wrong frequency again. How many commands do I map to my HOTAS versus my keyboard? So I have a Winwing Orion 2 with the FA-18 handle. So I've got that bound to a whole bunch of stuff. So basically anything that's bound to the HOTAS is bound to my HOTAS, and I'm doing that. Because I have, like the F-16 stick, I've got my 4 hat switches, my pickle button, my trigger detents, a pinky switch, all that stuff. I don't have a 3-way dogfight switch, but I still have buttons to do that in place of it. So I've just got a dogfight button, a cancel button, and an MRM button. So there's all sorts of buttons that I got. And then additionally, I've got a whole bunch of other things. So like my master arm is a switch that I've got here. The parking brake, which I can't actually engage in the air, which is good. My stores config switch.
Jekyll 3-1, Magic 7, nearest threat, block 03523 4000, beaming, hostile print mid-23, Singleton. Jekyll 3-1, Magic
MRM
7,
override
contact confirmed
mode.
hostile.
Targeting pod, let me see him. What is it? Can't tell what that is, but I know he said it's hostile. Com menus, I do that all through my keyboard. All of this ICP stuff that I do through my keyboard as well. Altitude hold off. We're gonna loft this up at this guy. Box 3. Load cat switch. I think he's turning towards us. Put this guy out of his misery since it looks like he's barely holding on. Pitbull. And it looks like we're also Husky. Hey Malachi, thank you for stopping by. How are you? We are bullying a stricken enemy aircraft and putting it out of its misery. Where did you go? Where did you go? Ah, we got him. All right, that was an easy one. I wonder what this redeem does. Engine. Oh God. Oh no. All right, our engine is now dropping. All right, our engine is now out. All right. Emergency power unit on. Throttle back up to idle. Engine to start 1. We're gonna do start 1 in the air, and we're gonna dive to get some engine RPM up. And we're going to try to hedge our bets with this start, but at least we'll have a second attempt. Try to maintain like a 10-degree dive, maybe. Please work, please work, please work, please work. Please work, please work, please work. Please work. I'd like to have an engine that works. Engine RPM is dropping. Oh no. Come on, come on. You know you wanted to restart. You have enough points to do this 2 more times. I hope I set the timeout on it for long enough. Ah! We got hit by something. Hi, I hope you're happy. You've killed us. 40 minutes. Yeah, that's good. We got hit by a missile because we were over an active combat zone when that happened. All right, let's move on to the next mission. So what do we want to hit next? More air targets. So we were like over this, which was a bad area to be in the first place. Your peanut gallery did that, yeah. I have some redeems. They're fun. In the future, another redeem I want to do that I can actually set up to forcibly do in game is random failure, because in Falcon BMS there is a keybind, which is you hit Alt and C, release it, and then you hit R I think it is, and you get a randomized failure, which can be a problem. So the randomized failure in the F-16 is either like you ignore it, or you have to now like try to immediately head back to base. Oh, Kai, you want a moe cute? Okay, so next thing, what the heck is this? An enemy ship? Maybe we should hit this enemy ship. Let's do something. Let's do something a little risky. Let's add a package new. What the heck does Tasmo mean? I don't know. If that's what it thinks it is, then it's probably a good chance that is what it is. We're gonna set the thing to 5:36 for our takeoff time. We're playing D&D, but lurking. All right, thank you. Oh, you Galaxy, you want hydrate? I just hydrated, but let's do another. And we're going to attempt to hit this ship with laser-guided bombs. I know it's probably going to be a stationary target, but we'll see what happens. So loadout. They are giving us Mavericks. I do not like Mavericks. Mavericks do not like me, which is why I do not like them. So we're going to grab the... as if I remember what bombs are laser-guided. GBU-27s, I think. I'm pretty sure though, what just happened with my window? But I'm pretty sure these are the armor piercing. I wonder if armor piercing is what we want for our ship or not. Probably. So we'll go with these. There's also the GBU-24s, which are what's different between these. They're slightly heavier. Well, we'll go with the GBU-24s because I think I've used them before. Actually, we do have a tactical reference. So we can go to bombs, we can go to laser guided, and we can go to GBU-24 Paveway 3. So there's the 27s and the 24. So the why do we have 27s? 27s are for the F-117. We're not F-117s. I would either use harpoons if possible and then GBU-24. Yeah, we don't have AGM-80 or what even is the designation of the harpoon? But we don't have harpoons because we are the U.S. Air Force, and the U.S. Air Force doesn't use harpoons on its F-16s. I also do not know how to use harpoons either. I haven't done that training yet. We're going to grab our Sidewinders just to have them in case. Near to ground, we are going to grab, we are going to grab the sniper targeting pod. Why did it give us the nav pod? We're not going to take the nav pod. AGM-84. All right. Actually, loadout, laser code. We are going to do 4-1. Right. 4 doesn't work. So we are going to do 1, 2. Okay, 16-1-1. Set code. Wingman is going to set his 16 or 15-1-2. All right. Get a cartridge. Com plan. IFF plan. Save. We're going to take off and we're going to do a taxiway start so we have some time to set up some of our systems. And you guys can't hear my switchboard ASMR, can you? No, you can't. Back before I had the filters I had on my mic, you could hear it whenever I was throwing switches on my controller. So when we'd get to the screen just before a mission, you'd hear like flick, flick, click, 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 as I switch a bunch of switches over to the start config that I need so that it matches the game. Add our legs. All right, air to ground. No, let's put that up. Air to ground mode, one single. We're gonna release one pair. Actually, maybe one signal. Hey, Roberon, how are you? Thank you for stopping by. So list page. I remember the laser mission being a really complicated one because it had me do a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't know how to do at the time. But miscellaneous, 5, laser, starting code was 1511, 1511. No, wrong thing. List page, miscellaneous, laser, combat, for air to ground, air to air, doesn't matter. 16 seconds before impact. Now this should hopefully lays automatically 16 seconds before impact, right? If I'm remembering correctly. But who knows? So I think that's right. Let's give this a try. And we're gonna do our last setup items. Turn that on, turning that on. These are all good. These are all good. UHF 2. Why do we default to UHF 6? Oh, it's probably a data cartridge thing that I gotta fix at some point. We'll do that later. Press taxi for departure.
Good afternoon, please on 4. You are number 1 for departure. Taxi, Papa, Echo, and hold short, runway 18.
Runway 18, I copy. We're heavy, so our rotate speed is probably going to be around 180 again. Doing a scud hunt. Sounds fun. I want to try the Gulf War Theater at some point, but the Gulf War Theater scares me because the distances involved almost all seem to require air-to-air refueling, and air-to-air refueling is incredibly taxing for me. I can manage it, but it takes me a while. When can we just get automated aircraft autopilot systems to automatically fly you at the right point from the tanker? Because honestly, that doesn't seem like it would be all that hard to do. It seems like it would be really expensive and complicated to qualify. But it seems like it really wouldn't be that hard. An air contact out there.
Please on 4-1, contact tower for takeoff.
Ready for departure. Why did you stop, wingman?
Weasel 4, Kunsan Tower, wing 230 at 9 knots, runway 18. You are cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff. Let's go. Another theater I heard that is a lot of fun is the Taiwan theater, because I heard it is just insanity. But also, I am scared of J-20s and J-15s, which almost certainly have bullcrap specs. She sounds tired. Yeah, she's an air traffic controller. I can't blame her. And she has to deal with me taking off without clearance sometimes, so her job's rough. I'm really sorry, Betty. All right, he's ready. I'm ready. Throttle up. Release. Rotate. Gear up. We got climb waypoints we're gonna probably want to use. Your message not go through? What message? The ooh and hey flyboy? I think I just missed those.
Airborne.
Or airborne.
Weasel 4, Kunsan departure. Fly heading 080. Resume on navigation.
You trying to evade some S-300 in this game? What was the S-300 again? Do I have that in my threat guide here? I don't have its actual name in here. I think it's the SA-5 is the S-300. It is a little scary, but it is broadly outranged by our harms. The S-300, like, everybody likes to champion and go like, oh my god, it's so good, it's like this 300 nautical mile range, but in reality, sure, the missiles might have the capability to go out and hit a stationary air target at 300 nautical miles, but actually I think it's 300 kilometers, which is quite not that, not great compared to air weapons. But the reality is that hitting an airborne target is really hard from that kind of a distance, because it gives the airborne target a crap load of time to get a warning that a missile is fired on it and turn around and leave. Because I am an aircraft, I have the option of turning around and leaving. The S-300 is not an aircraft. It is a broadly fixed in position thing for quite a period of time that cannot turn around and run when it spots an aircraft. Which means that if I drop my munition on it, it is not going to leave in time.
Contact tower for landing.
We're losing too much speed. Let's nose down. A low 14000. Let's turn to our next waypoint. Similar problem with Patriot batteries. The Patriot batteries, the difference is that the Russian equipment, they always overstate its capabilities. So they'll say, hey, yeah, our S-300, it can hit things at 300 kilometers totally. And that might be 50% farther than it can actually shoot and even hit a stationary air target. US stuff will go like, oh yeah, Patriot, it can hit X distance plus. And they won't say the plus distance that it can hit at. Like, as an example, the Russians will give you exact figures for all of the speeds of their ships, and they'll go, oh yes, the Admiral Kuznetsov can totally hit this completely unreasonable speed. And the US will in turn just go, yeah, our destroyers go 30 plus knots. How much faster than 30 knots do they go? They don't disclose that. They don't specify that. Because Russia is just a paper bear. And pretty much always has been a paper bear. But the Patriots are far, far more scary because they are a track well scan system, which means that they lock you up and you get a warning that they've locked you up. So like you'll get like this kind of a warning, and you know, hey, there's a Patriot locking me up. Okay, that's good to know. And then you'll get blown out of the sky with no missile warning because their radar doesn't do anything that your radar receiver can pick up between locking you up and firing a missile. And the missile isn't tracking you. The guiding radar itself of the Patriot is tracking you. Whereas the S-300, you just get a big launch warning once it launches. Now I know our course is a straight course, but we're probably gonna fly out over the sea and then come in. Hope that waypoint is accurate, because that doesn't look quite right. It's a ways out, huh? "85 nautical miles to our target." That's quite a ways. Something you don't know, given you don't do flight sims. Yeah, it's just a common thing where anytime the US has gotten its hands on Russian equipment, it's almost always a disappointment compared to what was specified. And then numbers of Russian stuff has always been super overblown. A nice calm flight with hopefully very little exploding and very, very few engines turning off. Do we have the we do not have that checklist there. I would like to have that checklist. They are telephone pole-sized missiles that hit like a truck. Yeah, they are pretty chunk missiles. Although the SA-2 is a pretty frickin' chunk missile. A while back when I visited the U.S. Air Force Museum, I took a picture of an SA-2 launcher, and I don't think it gives it the scale, but like I was able to stand next to a SA-2 missile launcher with an inert missile, and it is huge. Hey, targeting pod, are you on? Yes, you are. Air to ground. Targeting pod, standby. Air to ground. Oh yeah, and we have to laser arm so we can actually shoot. I go to Dayton. Yep, the Museum of the Air Force that's there in Dayton. Air targets in front of us? What are these? Friendly and possibly one hostile? Yep, one hostile.
4-1, Voodoo 2, contact confirmed hostile.
We're having trouble locking him up, so he might be something fancy.
Weasel 4-1, Voodoo 2, contact confirmed hostile.
Box 3. Master arm. Box 3. Wingman, weapons free, AA.
2.
Missile's guiding itself. What is this thing? Box 3. Splashed 1. MiG-23 down. Onward to our target. We're a bit lighter now.
Weasel 4-1, Voodoo 2, nearest threat, lot 340, 16, 25,000. Hostile print, MiG-21s, 2 ship.
Yeah, MiG-21s, I don't need to fight these guys right now. Wingman, back my target.
2, Wilco. 2, Box 3, medium.
Locked.
2, Box 3, medium. 2, full.
Alright, one splashed.
2, engage defensive. Missile.
Track. Flare.
I do not want to drop my munitions yet.
Weasel 4-2, buddy spike.
Altitude. Altitude. Locked.
Box 2. Splash. Okay. This is just typical of an air-to-ground mission. It's where I score most of my air-to-air kills. Wingman is still good. Play with keyboard and mouse and crash into the earth. Hey, you know, everybody's got to have some CFIT accidents when they start out. Most of you probably weren't around when I was learning IL-2 Stormovik. And I did learn, I spent quite a few hours before I started streaming playing IL-2 Stormovik. And then I started streaming it and I still was bad. And I only picked up Falcon BMS after months of streaming IL-2 Stormovik and getting better. See something on our targeting pod. I'm trying to climb back up so we can actually see things. Attitude hold. Let's do steering select. IL-2 Pacific Air was so fun. I really hope IL-2 Battle of X gets a Pacific Theater map at some point and some Pacific aircraft.
Weasel 4-1, Voodoo 2, nearest threat, bullseye. 1, 5,
AWACS is calling in bullseye, which means we're safe.
Gold, hostile print, MiG-23s, 2 ship.
How do I turn my laser on? Does it not work when it's automatic? The L flashes when my trigger's down, but I have to lock the target first. Okay. I can't really make out that target ship. Oh, wait. There's two of them now. We're gonna hit the... I guess the one that the munitions tell us we have to hit. We're gonna release one single. Maybe we'll hit both. Alright, you're out of here. Alright, thank you for stopping by, Galaxy. It's altitude hold. We got our dynamic launch zone now, so we know when to release. Bet we can see these things with the naked eye with the magic zoom of BMS. Yes, we can. Lock onto the right thing, for God's sake. Okay, screw it. Pay no attention to the enemy F-16s. Nah, there's just one friendly F-16 behind me. Alright, bombs away. Bombs away. Bombs, you wanna... Bombs away? Bombs, you wanna release? Bombs? Okay, there we go. Where's my indicator of how long until it hits? The laser should automatically turn on, right? Right? I hope.
2, in.
Let's say 15 locking me up. MiG 21 coming in. All right, we got a direct hit.
Pave way.
Ah shit, ah shit, ah shit, here we go again. As I try to control my untrimmed aircraft.
2, ejecting.
Back two.
Chaff flare. Chaff flare.
You got one of them. We're gonna get the hell out of here. Munitions dropped. Quest rescue chopper.
Weasel 4, Voodoo 2, Weasel 4-2. Stand by, southeast.
Ow!
Warning, altitude.
I knew that was gonna happen. Because we were flying back directly at that SA-15, and there is like a rock in a hard place. GBU, one hit. We destroyed the thing, though. Slippery enemies, yeah. The wingman missed his bomb. But we've got 5 air-to-air kills. And I am missing in action. Big Sag. Government appreciates your service, yes. I hope our target was worth it. All right. Oh. Where should I drag that from? Uh-oh. Clearly it's not important. But I think I am going to save our campaign and wrap up for today. We're going to go over to our talking. Amazon deliveries will never be delivered. Well, the sucks to suck that they were on a North Korean military ship. We're going to figure out who we're going to raid now. And I'm going to pray to God that my music is playing because I can't hear it. But OBS says it's playing. Oh boy. It is a Thursday, so it's a slow day. Oh, Take 6, thank you for the follow. Should I see if I doubt anybody's streaming Falcon BMS. Do we have any YouTubers streaming DCS? I don't see anyone. Yeah, there's like no one streaming today. It's weird. Next best thing, I can throw you over to Whiskey Project, who is playing Wargame Red Dragon, which, oh my god, I love Wargame Red Dragon, but it is so hard to play, especially against people. So let's get that raid started. Wait, she's ending? Yep, she just... Ah! Okay, cancel raid. Alright, screw it. Alara, I don't know anyone else, so we're throwing you over to random other completely unrelated content. Sorry, deal with it. Alright everyone, thank you for stopping by. If you can stick around for the raid, then please put this in Alara's chat. Y'all should be able to use this because they are follower emotes. And I will be back. I should be back Sunday with more Falcon BMS. I might try to plan a more structured thing. I want to cover at some point ILS landings, because ILS I think is one of the coolest things you can do that is not combat in a flight sim. I find it quite enjoyable. I don't typically do it because on stream because ILS requiring missions are pretty boring because you can't see anything. But we'll see if we can run some of those this weekend. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you next time.